days are dark and long, and the nights are cold and silent. I see your smile, it's like a song, a melody so pure and vibrant. In a world that needs your light, your kindness like a fire burns bright. Tiara, don't you ever fear your smiling tears.
Or already got me laughing. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Tiara Whitney, and we are back on Joy in the Journey. Like I always say, I always bring my family, my friends, and whoever is close to me and I've met along my journey into my home, where we talk about things that we have been through, experiences we have had that you may can relate to. And today I have my brother Mel with me today, but you also known as Mel, but it's Jamal Johnson. Jamel Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, Jamel Johnson, also known as Mel. So what I know so far about you, because we kind of just met and got to know each other this year, right? Well, we've known each other maybe for a couple years, but we just met got to know each other a little more this year.
Right.
So what I know so far is that you are a father, you are a hustler, you do a lot of parties in Fort Wayne. You just moved from St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
St. Louis, Illinois.
I ain't gonna say just, but yeah.
But you from St. Louis,
yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is you Aquarius, like I am.
Oh yeah.
Tell us more about you, Mel.
I mean, you pretty much said it. I was born and raised in East St. Louis. I moved to Fort Wayne back in 2004. So I've been here for about 20 years now.
And you still got that St. Louis little accent, I hear.
Yeah,
I hear it.
But I done made Fort Wayne my home. So like you said, I done kind of stepped out into the entertainment business for the Fort Wayne area, surrounding areas. I do promotion and event planning, as a side job, part-time. Mm-hmm. And, I got 4 kids that I take care of, so, I'm a father as well.
Okay.
Pretty much, in a nutshell, that's me. Before I came to Fort Wayne, I had a different type of hustle, that kind of put me behind bars for a little bit.
Okay,
but,
let's talk about it a little bit. Talk about that a little bit, because I didn't know that. Let's talk. So how was that? So was it hard? Like when you got here, was that something you was familiar with? So you kind of burned it with you, or that's something you just kind of got into because it was hard?
There was something that I was. You talking about as far as the music?
Is that what
promoting
the music?
Yeah. That was something that I was already into before I came here. It was just something that I was, mixing and mingling, getting to know people around the town, and met a couple people that was in the same, field that I wanted to be in, and kind of watched them a little bit, and then took my own way.
Okay.
So it has its ups and downs.
Okay, yeah.
Like any other business.
Are you still doing that, or
yeah, I am. I'm still doing it. It just, like I said, it has its ups and downs. So it looks good, but it ain't always good. You win and you lose, just like any other business. So
yeah. So how is that? How is balancing? Because you say you're doing that, then you doing the events on the side, then you got your main job, and you a father. How is balancing all that out?
A challenge.
Yeah, I bet.
A headache. Sometimes I be wanting to throw in the towel.
Right, yeah. I already know.
For real, but because I like it, because I like what I do so much, that's one of my motivations to keep me striving until I get to where I really want to be, But it's definitely a challenge, and it takes away from you, being at home as well, because you already working. I'm already working a job, you know what I'm saying? So when I do an event, it's like I gotta try to work, take care of home, and focus on that, because that takes a lot, you know what I'm saying? Putting it together, making sure you're getting the right people to help you with the event, and expecting some of the unexpected things to come along with it. So it's definitely a headache in itself. Sometimes I feel like I want to kind of put that down a little bit and go, give me a podcast going on.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Funny. Go
Let
ahead
me
and
start
do it.
doing some skits or
Go
something
ahead.
around here.
Go ahead and do it. What you would name it? What you would name it? Would you let me be on there?
You definitely let you be on there. Yeah, we can do some. We can. I got a couple ideas for some skits.
What? What ideas you got? You got any names?
I don't want to tell nobody. I don't, how many viewers you got on
Okay,
here?
I don't know
They
yet.
might be. Hey, you know people steal shit all the time.
You are funny. Oh my god. No
Yeah.
wonder you want my uncle and Click.
Yeah.
Y'all are funny.
I got
need him
some.
on.
I got some real life situations that we can reenact that'll blow people's mind.
Come on, talk about
Real.
it. Let's talk about it.
Man, where
what's
you
the
wanna-
life
where
situation?
you
No,
wanna
because you
start
said
at?
that you was behind bars. So
Yeah.
you did things that got you behind bars, and that's where I was like, what happened?
Man, I had done a string of things, drugs,
So
robbery.
that's why I was asking, did you bring that from St. Louis, or was that something that you was already doing in St. Louis? And
No, when I got out of prison, man, you know, it was crazy because, you know, I really wasn't even expecting to come to Indiana. But you know how God have a plan for you sometimes that you don't even expect. So I actually, when I was supposed to be released from prison, I didn't even get out because me and my brother was locked up, and he got out before me. And
Are you older or
he young? No, I'm younger. He older than me.
Okay.
And he paroled out before me, so he already had, you know, went to my dad's crib, and we couldn't be at the same house. So because we couldn't be at the same house, so I had never been raised by my mom or nothing. I actually had just met my mom months before I went to prison.
And how old were you?
Probably like 17, 18 years old.
And you had never met your mom?
Well, I had, when I say met her, she may have had me when I was a baby for a while. All my memories was with my grandma and my dad, though.
Really?
Yeah, all my memories.
So,
When I got out, you know, I had met my mom before I got locked up. So when I realized I couldn't parole out to my dad's crib, that's when I started trying to talk to my mom a little bit more to see if she can let me use her address so I can. And that's how I ended up in Indiana.
Wow. So she stayed here in Indiana?
No, she stayed in Indianapolis.
She stayed in Indianapolis.
Yeah,
Okay.
she stayed in Indianapolis. Then I moved here. And
What made you move here? Moved here.
I met this little
Here.
nappy head girl. Met this little nappy head girl.
How you meet her? Like, you was in Indy, she was in Fort Wayne?
She stayed in Fort Wayne, yeah.
And so how did y'all meet? Like, how did that come about?
It was either the Circle City Classic or the Black Expo, something like that.
When was this?
It
Because I
was,
ain't been to the Black Expo in years.
this was back in 2003.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was sometime in September. I got out of prison. It was maybe in October. I got out of prison in September 2003.
Okay.
So
Did you have kids yet or no?
No, I ain't had no kids yet.
Okay.
It was sometime in September or October when I met her in 2003. And I started dealing with her, and she convinced me that Fort Wayne was the place to be.
Then Indy.
It was a lie.
Because I'm like, usually you bring them to Indy, they don't bring you to Indy.
Man, but I ain't know nothing about neither one of them. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
it's really kind of the same. Indy
And I was
bigger.
staying with my mom, and you know, I'm gonna tell you, being that we didn't have a relationship like that, and I'm like grown, you know what I'm saying? I just got out of prison, I'm like grown.
Right.
And she trying to be a mama. It was like it was too late for that. So we was bumping heads anyway.
heads,
And I was being thirsty.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I was being thirsty, so I left.
With women.
No, I was being thirsty to get out of her house.
Get out her house. Oh, I thought you was like, I've been thirsty with women. Like,
no, I was
okay,
being thirsty to get out of her house.
Right.
Yeah, so somebody came along and said, you can move to Fort Wayne,
I'm
and
out.
I got you, and everything gonna be just peaches and cream.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Man, I ran my ass up into a lie.
Oh my God.
Man.
So you moved from Indy here to Fort
Yeah.
Wayne in 2004.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what was that like? St. Louis, then moved to Indy, then come to Fort Wayne.
Man, you want me to tell you the truth?
What? Yeah.
You want?
This what it's about.
I fucked up. That's what it was like.
Right. Oh,
And
like-
I say that because I ain't never lived. I ain't really never. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's you know it's diverse everywhere. Everywhere got its areas. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere got its areas. But you know, for me to come from East St. Louis, where it's predominantly black, to come somewhere where it's predominantly white and they racist, man, this was different. You know what I'm saying? It was different. I still deal with some stuff that I'll be having to catch myself like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? They really own that up here. You know, and I think that was like one of the biggest, I'll say one of the biggest things that I had to encounter along with dealing with different type of black people. You know what I'm saying? Because I came from where I stayed at, where the black people was a lot more, it was a lot more unified. Like my neighbors would whoop my ass if I did something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It was like family.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I could be walking down the street and, you know, somebody, it'd be raining outside and a stranger would give me a ride home, you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
you would trust it.
Yeah. And it's like up here, like,
Everybody.
they don't got the same unity. The black people don't got the same unity up here. It's a lot of division, and it wrecks my brain to try to figure out like why are they like this up here? You know what I'm saying? Like what happened up here that it didn't resonate with everybody that black people we supposed to stick together, especially in an environment like it is up here. You know what I'm saying? I would think that I would see more black people unified up here than I would see any other area that's more populated with black people, because we got so much small numbers. It's only like 50,000 black people here compared to 180,000 white people. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that would make me just be like, we need to stick together more, but it's not like that. You know, so that's another thing that I had to adjust to a little bit living up here. But overall, you know, Fort Wayne is cool. You know, I'm glad that I was able to have my kids in an area like this. You know what I'm saying, compared to where I grew up at, because the crime, even though the crime rate here has gotten a little bit more worse than when I first moved here, it's still not as bad as where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So that alone to me is a plus. It make me feel like my boys got hope. You know what I'm saying? To not go through some of the things that, well, they not gonna do that anyway because I'm a different type of parent. But still, they not gonna have as much of that exposure as I did growing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they won't have to go through some of the things that I went through growing up. You know what I'm saying? In the hood. You know what I mean? Not saying that Fort Wayne don't got no hood, because they get lit out here too. But you know, where you might get 100 bodies in a year, where they making 200-300 bodies in a year. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I feel like it's still an overall good place to raise a family.
I do too.
Because it's definitely slow.
Yeah. Don't do us. Do not do us. Okay.
Okay, so to me, like, I don't go look at caskets when people die. I don't go look at their body when they die. I like to have my own memories of what I had with them before they passed on. So the fact that they passed away, I bury them too. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I don't miss my parents sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I probably miss my dad more than my mom because we didn't have a good relationship. But not saying that I don't miss them or think about them sometimes. But for the most part, I kind of block that out my head because it's like they gone. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really, I really don't want to dwell on nothing I can't control. You know what I'm saying? I can't control. I mean, I could talk to them in my heart. You know what I'm saying? I can talk to them in my spirit. But as far as me really being able to see them, call them on the phone, I can't really do that. So it's like, for me to be able to move on, I gotta let them rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So I let them be. I just had to, last month, I was up and I was like, damn, I just feel like today is, I'm supposed to be, I'm thinking about doing something. Like today I'm supposed to be doing something. And it wasn't really that I was doing something, it was my damn daddy's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm like, something is going on today.
Right.
And
Today's
stuff like
an
that.
important day, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it
I don't know
is.
what it is. I get on the internet, it says, my dad's name, Valdez, it says Valdez's birthday today. I said, damn, that's what it is, it's his birthday.
Right.
You know, so me and my brothers, we'll get on the phone and we'll talk, you know what I'm saying? We really do it more on my grandma's birthday, my mom, than my dad, because my dad, he was my dad, but he wasn't really around either. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, because that's not trying to be funny or nothing, but you know how dads are.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we gonna get. I'm gonna make sure Mama take care of you, but I'm still about to be doing me. Like,
Right.
I ain't about to be tied down to no kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he popped in and out.
In and out.
But
Yeah.
he was more around than my birth mother was, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, when it comes to my parents, man, they've been gone for over 7 years now. But I kind of just put them to rest.
So what about your grandma? How do you like process that? Her being gone.
Man, she was gone before then.
Oh, she was gonna be.
She died when I was 12.
Oh,
Yeah, I
dang.
can remember that. That's tattooed on my arm. Yeah, she died when I was 12 years old. Yeah, so, and then that's when, I'm going to tell you, let me take a drink.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're funny. Go ahead and take a drink.
Ooh, what is this right here? Some Chardonnay? Is that
This
even
my
red?
favorite. My favorite. This
This
is
is
my
Stella?
favorite. This is my favorite. It's a red sweet wine. It's called Sadik.
Oh, Sadik, okay.
Sadik. Satek.
I ain't gonna remember, but it tastes good. though.
I told
But,
you. Yeah, this wine be good.
Let me tell you, when we go back in my life a little bit, so my dad, he was a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
So he came home to visit. He had his own family. So he came home and visited us on the weekends. He'll come pick us up, take us with his family, and then bring us back to his mama house. You know what I'm saying? So when she died, when she passed away when I was like 12 years old, something like that, I don't even know who his girlfriend was at the time. But that's who I stayed with. And when he came home, you know, he seen us. And actually, from that point on, my life has not been stable. My life has been more stable in Fort Wayne since I've been an adult than it has for me growing up. Because I lived in so many places, and as far as in Illinois, and then we moved to Colorado, then to Nebraska,
Dang.
back to East St. Louis, you know what I'm saying? And I think when we moved back to East St. Louis, that's kind of like when my life took a turn for the worse, because my dad had lost his job, and his girlfriend, she stayed in conditions that I wasn't accustomed to. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm talking about my grandmother. She owned houses. She owned a tax service. So she was
She's a hustler.
Yeah, she was a pretty well off lady. You know what I'm saying?
Is that where you
So-
get it from?
That's probably where I get it from.
Sound like it.
Yeah, that's probably where I get it from. And she was a well off lady, you know. So I actually didn't even experience the public school system until after she passed away. But when I got into that environment, it's just when I got older and I look back on my life, I understand where people say you adapt to the environment that you're in, because I didn't grow up that way. You know, I went to a black Christian school, you know, started off from elementary to middle school. At the end of my middle school, I got into the public school system. And if you know anything about East St. Louis, that's like, it's not one of the best school systems they have, District 189. It's not one of the best school districts that they have. So when you already got those values instilled in you from your parents anyway, I feel like even with my kids, like my girls are cool, but the boys, they little knuckleheads.
So what you got? 2 boys, 2 girls?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I feel like that even though I instill good things into them, they might not utilize it now, just like I didn't. But it'll come back to them as they get older.
Oh, yeah.
Just like it did for me. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that kind of made me turn my life around. And people, I never knew this until I got older and just got to talking to different people and stuff like that. But like verbal and mental abuse, that really take a toll on
Oh
me.
my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
that could be worse than physical.
yeah,
Somebody hitting you.
no, it can. And what made me say that was with my dad. With my dad's last wife, I endured a lot of mental and verbal, along with some physical abuse. You know what I'm
From
saying?
his ex-wife.
Yeah, and him.
And him.
Yeah, but I don't blame my dad. You know, and the reason why I say I don't blame my dad because women can manipulate a situation. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Women
men
are.
can too.
Yeah, but
It could be
women.
vice versa.
But women got the power.
Oh, you think we got power?
What? Do I think that's an understatement?
Okay.
But anyway, you know, my stepmom would kind of edge my dad to do stuff that I could tell that he really didn't want to do.
But he did it because of what she was telling him.
Exactly. So that's why I don't blame. I put the blame on her. You know, but
Yeah.
with that being said, you know, I definitely got a lot of verbal and mental abuse from her. And
Is she still living?
why? And that's the thing. She should have been the first. Let me not say that.
Wait.
No, for real.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk about this a little bit. So you said that you was getting verbally and mentally abused by her. What was that like? Like what do you think transpired that? Do you think she was jealous of y'all? Cause y'all, like, did she have kids like your dad?
No, she had kids too though. She had kids too.
But do you think it was like a jealousy thing or?
No, it wasn't because see, me having a relationship with her kids and us becoming step siblings, you know, we had conversations and that was just something that she did. When I talk about my brother,
So she treated her own kids like that too.
yes,
Okay.
the boys,
The boys,
yeah, not the girls so
not
much.
the girls so much.
Yeah, with the boys she did, and I don't know why. I don't know. I got my own idea why,
What is it?
but somebody might be watching and gonna tell her. I don't want to say it.
Well, tell me afterwards.
Yeah.
Tell me behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Okay.
But yeah. So with that being said, that kind of fueled me to not really want to. I didn't think I could do some of the things that I'm doing now in my life.
Because of the things she said.
Yeah.
What
you
was
know,
it? What-
just the name calling, dumb, stupid, retarded. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I was really thinking,
That
I
you
feel
was
like,
bad.
yeah, I was really feeling like, why even try? Because I can't do it anyway. That was kind of
That's
like,
how you grew up.
yeah,
She implanted that in you.
yeah. And man, it wasn't until I got my GED that I was like, damn. I'm pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of, from that, it motivated me to go to college and to further my education a little bit more in time, and then kind of start stepping out of my normal realm, trying to do different stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I just feel like me wanting something different in my life, you know, kind of was one of those focuses that made me want to say, it got to be more to what I'm really getting out of life. You know what I'm saying?
It's more to this.
Yeah, it's more to this. So I had to realize to start putting some of those things that I grew up hearing in my head all the time, taking them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't me. I'm better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do better than what I was mentally programmed to think I could do. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So like going through something like that with your stepmom, do you think you now more aware with your own children?
Definitely. Even with some of the things that I say, you know, I instead of me calling my kids dumb or stupid or something like that, I always tell them, you smarter than that. I'm like, you smart. What you doing right now, you smarter than that. You can do better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason why you can't. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't call my kids out their name. You know, like bitches or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't call my kids out their name.
Because I even think like that's a strong word. Because I think as in a Black community, I don't know if it was like this in St. Louis, but like here for sure, we would hear parents say stuff like, "I treat you like a on the street."
Yeah.
I don't like that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah. It's definitely not cool.
Yeah.
And I can't. It blows my mind when I see some of the parents talk to the kids. You can use that on all spectrums of life. If you're around a person that's less intelligent than you gonna start dummying down yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just because you want to be able to be on the same level as them. You know what I mean? When you hurting yourself in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So I try when I talk to my kids, I try to always speak life into them. You know what I'm saying? Whether they want to accept it or not, because I know I talk my head off to them, and eventually down the road, those things that I say is gonna come in handy to them. They're gonna start remembering. I remember before my dad had passed away, there was one time that I just had to call. I can't remember what was going on in my life. I was living up here, and I can't remember what was going on in my life at the time, but I just had to call him and tell him, man, thank you for some of the stuff that you put me through, because now it is coming in handy in life. Right. You know what I'm saying? And my dad wasn't really he didn't really teach me too much when it came to life. He taught me a good work ethic. I feel like that's where I got that from.
I think a lot of guys, I know a guy, I'm cool with a guy, and he don't know his biological dad, but like he don't know him like that, but he have a stepdad, and his stepdad wasn't like he wasn't a hands-on dad to him. Like he didn't teach him a lot, but he taught him how to be a provider and work, you know, be a working man. Yeah. Do you feel like that's how your dad was too?
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't teach me too much, but he definitely taught me how to work. He taught me how to work a job. My oldest brother taught me about the streets. And I think I say my oldest brother and sister, they both had me out there. But probably more my sister than my brother. That's bad, ain't it?
Oh my gosh, that's like different.
Yeah. That's because my sister used to mess with all the doughboys. And in order for my sister to get out the house, she had to bring me. Okay. So that kind of put me in the mix with her. Okay. You know what I'm saying? How was
your relationships with your siblings? Like, do you have a close relationship with them?
Oh yeah. Okay. Even my siblings that I didn't grow up with.
How many of it is y'all?
My mom, on my mom's side, the ones that I didn't grow up with is 3 of us. Okay. But my little brother counts as one of her siblings. It's a total. My mom had a total of 5 kids, count me. Okay. Yeah, 3 of them I didn't grow up with. Okay. Only me and my little brother grew up together. Okay. But excuse me. And then my dad had 2 siblings. I had 2 siblings with him, and then I do count my step siblings because we was together for a long time. So, and that was another 3 girls and 1 boy. 3 girls and 2 boys. I'm sorry. Okay. 3 girls and 2 boys. So, and we all hang out together now. You know what I'm saying? My oldest brother just turned 50. My step oldest brother, he just had a 50th birthday party. I didn't get to go to, but.
Here or?
I'm the only person here.
You the only one here?
I'm the only person. I moved to Fort Wayne because of my baby mama. Yeah. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why.
You only got one baby mama? Or
no? Okay. I got a couple of them. that was the only reason, and the only reason why I stayed here was because of my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, both of my parents wasn't there like that, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't the same relationship I had with my kids. You know, I probably enjoy the girls more than I enjoy the boys.
Why is that?
Cause they get on my nerves.
The boys?
Man, what? Look, I never believed that boys mature quicker than girls until I had some. And I'm gonna tell you,
wait,
this is the truth.
You think boys mature quicker than girls?
I used to.
You used to.
I used to think
Really?
that because
I
I thought
always
I was
heard-
pretty smart.
I always heard that girls mature faster than boys.
They've
But
always
you didn't
said.
believe it.
I didn't believe it. They
Okay.
always said it. I just didn't believe
Believe
it.
it. Okay.
I believe it now, though.
Okay, you believe now?
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
definitely believe it. Yeah, girls.
If you might have a little bit of yourself in them.
That's true. That's true, and I try to take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I feel like they just delayed.
Oh my God.
I feel like they just delayed because my daughter Janelle, I definitely see my behaviors in her.
Okay.
I definitely see me in her in every way. And
How old is she? How old are your kids?
20,
You got a
19,
20-year-old?
yeah.
Oh my God.
14, and 13.
Wow.
13 and 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your 15-year-old is the same age as my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the girls are the oldest and the boys are the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm counting down. I'm counting down the days. I use it by the school year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, so when they graduate, I know that's when it's over with for sure. He's 14 now.
14.
Yeah, he's 14. He just had a birthday September 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what stays with me. And that's another story too.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it just a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
But I only have 2 biological kids.
Okay.
I only have 2 biological kids. I want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But me and my son's mom, we got together when both of our daughters was 4 years old.
Okay.
Right now they just both the same age.
Okay.
And I pretty much raised her into, even after we broke up, I was still around. You know, I'm still around to the day. She just texted me this morning. You know, so I definitely claim her as one of my child because if she begging from me, then that's you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so that's the oldest, and my youngest, his mom had an unfortunate incident where she went to jail, and she was a friend of the family when it came to me and my son's mom. She was my son's mom friend, and her son and my son was growing up playing together. Mm-hmm. They call each other cousins. Mm-hmm. You know how you have play cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And her mom went to jail, and my son mom took her son in.
Okay.
And through the course of that going on, she couldn't really handle his behavior and stuff like that. So she asked me to step in.
Yeah.
And so I stepped in and I started helping her with him. And it kind of came to the end of the road with that, where DCS was like, okay, the mother is not doing what she needs to do. We're going to have to terminate her rights and put him up for adoption. And being that he had already been with me for the length of time that he had been with me, I felt it. I had it on my heart to just go ahead and adopt him.
That was nice. That was good.
And
that was real kind.
It was. In my heart, I thought I was doing the right thing, but he get on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie. For real. I love him to death. But he get on my nerves. I ain't even know. Hey, and that make me tip my hat to women.
Yeah.
I say, because raising kids is a challenge.
That's why I only have one.
Yeah.
I don't, I take my hat to anybody that got more than one.
Man, yeah, for real. Especially when they got about 8 or 9 of them.
Oh my God.
Man, what? Man, I tip my hat to the women that can raise these kids by themselves because I be overwhelmed. I ain't gonna lie. Last week, I ain't cooked not one time. I'm surprised he's still alive. You hear me? Because I just was eating cereal.
Oh
I said, I hope he eats cereal too. For real, you know. My job just had us off a week.
Yeah.
Man, I was working all the overtime. I don't know how he gonna eat, but I ain't worried about it this week.
Right.
He made it through. We made it through together.
Right. Now we back on the grind.
Yeah, for real. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
because man, I'm telling you, because I be seeing women, they come, they work, they come home, they cook a meal, they clean up the house. I be telling people, don't come to my house
I
right
did
now.
that with just one kid. So I'll be like, how do anybody do it with more than one? Like, cause this is all I can handle. So
Right.
it's like God give you exactly the portion you need.
Man,
because
what?
I know I would not be able to take, my plate is full. I don't need nothing else on it.
My plate is full and running over.
Yeah.
I don't need nothing else at all. I be sleeping. Nah, I ain't gonna go there. I was about to say something.
What I was about to say.
I was going to say I be sleeping outside the bush like it's Black Friday. We gotta get in here. We gotta get up in here.
Gosh. No.
No.
All right, so you have came from St. Louis, moved to Indy, then came to Fort Wayne, trying to adjust to all of that. What encouragement can you give someone that just for instance, just moved into a new city and they're trying to figure it all out and just lost, don't know what to do? What kind of encouragement would you give that person? Because I'm pretty sure that's how you felt when you...
Yeah, it definitely did. And when I moved here, actually, I didn't have nothing. I ain't had no car. I was catching the CityLink bus. Sometimes I was still wearing my prison clothes because I ain't even hardly had that many clothes because I was trying my best not to go back to some of the things that I was doing before, which I eventually fell back into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that it was like riding a bike. I knew that the most. But one of the things that I can tell people to is don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Always wake up, holding your head up high because every day the sun ain't gonna shine, even when it's out. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta stay positive and just keep going for what you want.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really the only way that you're gonna prevail. You know what I'm saying? If you keep going, the moment that you become stagnant or you stop, you're gonna see that that's the same thing happen within your life. You know, when people be like, dang, I ain't been going nowhere, I ain't progressing, I ain't doing, then you gotta ask, well, what have you been doing to try to progress?
Thank God for GPS, because I still need it, and I've been here over 30 years. So.
Yeah.
What, so, all the things that you've been through, just moving from city to city, losing your mom, losing your dad, not really having a relationship with your mom, and being where you at right now, how did you find joy in the journey?
You know what? I think God gave me my joy. To be honest with you, because I like. Let's talk about it. Because and I say that because I had a bunch of dark times. I had a bunch of dark times in my life, just growing up and just living life. Because this didn't come with no manual, no directions, or anything like that. So even sometimes when you think. Willie, I was going to say when you think you're making a wrong choice or the right choice, but with life ain't no right or wrong for real. I mean, we can say that because the government have put in laws to say this is right and this is wrong, but ain't really no right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? For real, you go with your heart. And I just feel like with some of the choices that I made, it kind of put me in some dark places, but you know, me having God in my heart, because see, my grandma, she might didn't go to church all the time, but that bus was definitely outside picking us up every Sunday.
Right. I've been on that bus. I don't care if I'm going or not.
Yeah, for real. She don't care where she was going or not. Man, what? You don't hear that bus out there blowing? So, you know, I feel like me having a relationship with God, because that's like, if I can't turn to nobody else, I can always turn to God.
Yes.
You know, I can always turn to God. Which, talking about God, I want to stay on that note that when you reaching for God, you just really reaching deep down within yourself, because God is in us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it made me realize that all I'm doing is motivating myself. The God is in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reiterating it to myself. My spirit is helping me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all one person. So me just knowing that, it just helps me to be like, you know what? You know, regardless of what I may be facing or what things look like right now, I'm gonna still keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's even with money, it come and go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Life is not, the only way life is gonna stay the same for a person if they ain't doing nothing to change it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
For real. So yeah, so my life ain't never staying the same. Cause I'm always doing something different. Well, sometimes it change for the better, sometimes it change for the worse.
Yeah.
But even when it changed for the worse, I'm even working harder to get it to turn for the better. You know
I
what
know
I'm saying?
that's right. Yes.
So
I know exactly what you're saying.
yeah, so I mean,
That's good. I love it. Where can the people find you at, Mel, on social media platforms?
I'm all over the place. I'm on Facebook.
What you on the Facebook?
On Facebook, you can find me under Melly Mel. Melly Mel on Facebook. You can find me on my business page, Mellow Entertainment LLC. You can find me on Instagram, Mellow Entertainment LLC, or Mel5826. I'm all over the place. Snapchat, I got Melly Mel 618 Snapchat. I got Mellow Entertainment on Snapchat.
You coming back with us again? Are you gonna come back?
For sure.
You got us entertained.
We're gonna have to do some skits.
Let's do
next
it.
time.
Okay,
I got
let's
a couple of them. We ain't talking about it on the camera though,
Nah.
because people steal
Baby,
ideas. They steal ideas.
You trust me with it though?
I trust you. Gonna be a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be a part of
Don't
it.
be just saying that now.
Nah.
Okay. Give me your word now.
You know, now that you say that, you know, I was working on that one thing that we ain't gonna go into details about. That I thought that I had a promising partner that was gonna help me.
I was helping
Not
you.
Not you. You know, it was three of us.
Well, we need to still do that.
Yeah,
do
we
something
did-
because we ain't been doing nothing in the community. So
yeah, we definitely do, and I really would like to do something. I really wish that I had the help of that other individual, because he kind of got his hands on people that I can't really touch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, God got us, so
Yeah.
we can make it happen.
Yeah, definitely
You
can
know?
make it happen.
So, all right. Well, thank y'all again for joining us on another episode of Joy in the Journey. Make sure you follow us on Encourage Tierra on Facebook, and we are also on Smiling Tear Support Group on Instagram. And my personal page on Instagram is Tierra Whitney. And we will see you next time on Joy in the Journey. Love you.
Bye.
Peace.